The Shorekeeper is finally here, and in this video I will give you a complete guide on her, which includes her kit and advanced playstyle tips, sequences, weapons, echoes, teams, rotations, and more. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. The Shorekeeper is a HP-based healer and a buffer. Starting with her kit, Shorekeeper has a 4-hit basic attack combo. The third hit has a little bit of pulling effect. The Resonance skill restores HP for all party members and deals some damage. Following up the skill with basic attack immediately will start the basic attack from its second attack. Now let's move on to her Forte circuit. Hitting a target with a normal attack generates a collapsed core. After 6 seconds, the collapsed core will transform into a Flare Star Butterfly. Flare Star Butterflies automatically track and attack a target. If there are already 5 collapsed cores, Shorekeeper's next normal attack hit will instantly convert a collapsed core into a Flare Star Butterfly without having to wait for 6 seconds. Shorekeeper can hold up to 5 4-day stacks, which are also called as segments of empirical data. She gains them from her basic attacks. She has a 4-hit basic attack combo, and all of her basic attacks give 1 stack each except for the third one. It gives 2 stacks. Dodge counter and mid-air attack gives 1 stack each. When Shorekeeper has 5 stacks, casting heavy attack will consume all stacks to pull nearby targets. Meanwhile, all generated collapsed cores will instantly transform into Flare Star Butterflies. The crowd control is decent, not that amazing, but still very helpful in stages of Tower of Adversity where there are a group of small enemies before the final boss. The same can be done by using a mid-air attack in possession of 5 Forte stacks, but you won't get the crowd control. In her Liberation, she does domain expansion. This domain has 3 stages. First is the Outer Stellarium, in which the characters within it will restore HP continuously every 3 seconds. This is not team-wide healing, only for the active character. The Outer Stellarium evolves into Inner Stellarium when a party member uses intro skill in it. The color of the domain will change to purple from blue. Within the range of the Inner Stellarium, for every 0.2% of Shorekeeper's energy region, all party members gain 0.01% bonus crit rate, up to 12.5%. So you will need 250% energy region in order to get the max buff. Along with this crit rate buff, Inner Stellarium has all the effects of the Outer Stellarium. And the last stage is called as Supernal Stellarium, which occurs when a party member triggers an intro skill in Inner Stellarium. So all you have to do to get to this stage is do intro skill twice inside her domain. For every 0.1% of Shorekeeper's energy region, all party members inside Supernal Stellarium gain a 0.01% increase of crit damage up to 25%. You will need 250 energy region to get the maximum amount here as well. The Resonance Liberation has a cost of 175, which is very high but isn't much of a problem since we will be stacking energy region on Shorekeeper. It has a cooldown of 25 seconds, but the Stellarium has a very long duration of 30 seconds. When Supernal Stellarium is generated, Shorekeeper's first intro skill triggered in its duration will be replaced with intro skill Discernment. This effect takes place once each time a Supernal Stellarium is generated, kind of like Calcaro's second intro skill. What's the use of this second intro skill? In her normal intro skill, Shorekeeper just heals HP and deals spectro damage based on her max HP, which is considered as Resonance skill damage. It generates 10 con chair to energy. When the intro skill gets enhanced, casting it ends the current Stellarium, that is her domain, and restores HP for all party members and deals damage to enemies. This attack is guaranteed to be a critical hit, dealing Resonance Liberation damage. It generates 20 con chair to energy. The damage from the intro skills scale on HP. In her outro skill, Shorekeeper grants the following effects. If the on-field character is hit or interrupted by getting launched, tapping the dodge button allows the resonator to immediately recover from the interruption, triggering a perfect dodge. This is amazing for characters with enhanced dodge counters like Xiangli Yao, Calcharo, or Changli to let her get a true sight charge attack faster. If a character is launched in the air, they can land on the ground standing if they are close to the ground. This effect can be triggered up to 5 times. On top of that, all nearby party members' damage is amplified by 15%. You can keep track of the buff duration and how many more dodges we have left by looking at these icons on top of the HP bar. Wow, so many buffs, but this is not the end. We still have to cover her inherent skills. The first inherent skill gives protection from fatal blow, just like Verina's second inherent skill. When a character other than Shorekeeper takes a fatal blow, they will not die and will instead be healed for 50% of Shorekeeper's HP, while Shorekeeper loses the same amount of HP. Shorekeeper's HP will not go below 1 from this effect. This effect can be triggered once every 10 minutes. In her second inherent skill, when the character on the field is within the range of a stellarium, Shorekeeper's energy regen increases by 10%, which is great as you need to reach the 250% energy regen mark. If Rover is on the same team, Rover's energy regen also increases by 10%. Amazing skill for Rover mains. She also has a skill that helps with exploration. If you use her heavy attack, that is, hold down her basic attack button, she transforms into a butterfly and can automatically collect materials. She gains 4-day stacks every second in this form, but it is not much used in combat. I think it's worth mentioning that you can cancel the Shorekeeper's resonance skill and the Forte circuit attack. That was all her skills. Let's take a quick look at what does Shorekeeper provide. What are all her buffs? First is of course healing. Aside from that, she can give crowd control from her Forte skill, crit rate and damage buff from her Liberation, a skill that can cancel any interruption or give perfect dodges for a total of 5 times, 15% damage amplification, a skill that prevents death of any character and instantly heals them as well, 10% energy regen increase to herself and to the Rover, and her buffs are team-wide buffs, which makes it much better. Moving on to her talent priority. For a healing-focused variant, prioritize her Resonance skill and Liberation, followed by Intro skill. Basic attacks and Forte can be skipped. For a damage-focused variant, prioritize her Intro skill, followed by her Resonance skill and Liberation, followed by Basic attack and Forte. Moving on to her sequences. In her first sequence, the range of her Resonance Liberation is increased by 150%, and its duration is increased by 10 seconds. Casting Shorekeeper's level 2 intro skill in her Stellarium won't end its duration. This is not worth it. Don't pull for this sequence. The range of her Liberation is already quite big, and she doesn't have any duration issues. I would recommend you to go for her weapon instead, unless you are going for the S2. The S2 is a very strong sequence. It gives an extra 40% attack buff. The S3 grants her 20 con chair to energy on casting her Liberation. Despite how simple it looks, it is a great boost as it greatly shortens your rotation. The S4 gives 70% healing bonus when casting her Resonance skill. The fifth sequence increases the pulling range of her third basic attack and the Forte attack by 50 and 30% respectively. The sixth sequence increases the damage multiplier of her second stage intro skill by 42%. While casting this skill, her crit damage increases by 500%. Moving on to her weapons. As you saw in her kit, you need to stack energy regen on Shorekeeper to hit the 250% energy regen mark. So the best weapon to use on her would be a weapon with energy regen. The best weapon in that category is her signature weapon. It provides 77% energy regen, which is the highest in the game. Additionally, it increases HP by 12%, which is good for healing. It restores 8 Concerto energy when casting Resonance Liberation. This is very useful as it lets you trigger her outrow skill easily. And the cherry on top is that it gives 14% attack increase for 30 seconds after casting Resonance skill. It is the best weapon available for buffing, but it is not needed as there are some 4-star alternatives too. Her second best weapon option would be the Variation. It provides 51.8% energy regen and also provides Concerto energy after using Resonance skill, making it her second best option. If you don't have the Variation, you can use the craftable weapon Rectifier 25 as it also provides 51.8% energy regen. You don't need to refine this weapon as its passive is not useful on Shorekeeper. The other alternative we have is a 3-star weapon Rectifier of Voyager. It provides 32.3% energy regen and resonance energy, but the craftable weapon is better than this. The resonance energy is not needed for Shorekeeper as we will be stacking energy regen on her. And for her Echo set, Rejuvenating Glow set is the best option to use. For the Echo skill, we actually have 2 options. One is the Bellborn skill, and the other one is the new Echo skill, Fallacy of No Return. Both are pretty much similar and have their own perks. The Bellborn provides 10% damage boost and damage reduction, which can be very useful. Fallacy of No Return grants her 10% energy regen for 20 seconds, which can be useful to reach the 250% requirement she must meet, making it easier to get energy regen on her. On top of this, the Echo also grants the entire team a 10% attack boost for 20 seconds, and as a bonus, also deals damage based on the max HP, which will slightly boost Shorekeeper's damage contribution. While this Echo skill is not a direct improvement over the Bellborn, it is a more flexible option. Before going on to the Echo stats, let's discuss all sources of energy regen so that we can deduce how much she will need from Echoes. She will need 150% energy over her 100% base energy regen. She gains 10% from her inherent skill, and if you use the Fallacy of No Return Echo skill, you gain another 10% energy regen. She will need a total of 130 to 140% energy regen from her gears. A 4-star weapon will provide 51% energy regen. That means you will need around 90% from Echoes. Each 3-cost Echo provides 32% energy regen, so you will only need around 26% from Substats. Moving on to her Echo stats, for a healing focus build, you can go healing bonus on the 4-cost Echo, and for damage focus build, you can go crit damage. HP percent can also be used as it contributes towards both healing and damage. You can either go energy regen on both the 3-cost Echoes, or if you already have enough energy regen, you can use 1 Spectro damage Echo and HP percent on 1-cost Echoes. For Substats, in healing focus build, prioritize getting the required amount of energy regen, followed by HP percent and flat HP. In damage focus build, prioritize getting the required amount of energy regen, followed by crit damage, resonance liberation damage, HP percent and flat HP. As we only focus on the second intro skill damage, we are not prioritizing crit rate. Moving on to her team comps. Well, this section is going to be super short, as Shorekeeper can fit into literally any team comps, just like Verena or Baiji. She fills the role of sustained support. As a result, any team comp can take benefit of her. Jian, Mortefi, Shorekeeper. Shangli Yao, Yinlin, Shorekeeper. These are some team examples. Moving on to her rotations. First, start with using 4 basic attack to fill her Forte stacks. Then use her Resonance skill and the Forte skill. The order doesn't matter. You can optionally swap cancel the skill by going into your sub DPS to fill some of their Concerto bar. However, this step can be skipped if your sub DPS doesn't need a preparation like this. Then swap back to the Shorekeeper and do another 4 basic attack combo and a Forte attack. Then use her Liberation. This should fill her Concerto bar. If it is not filled, you can do some basic attacks to fill the rest of the bar. Don't forget to use the Echo skill. Then intro to your sub DPS. Fill their Concerto bar and intro to your main DPS. After the first rotation is complete, you can intro into Shorekeeper and gain a huge amount of Concerto energy, letting you reduce her field time. The rotation will go like Level 2 intro followed by 4 basic attack and a Forte attack, followed by her Resonance skill, Liberation, Echo skill, and Outro skill. Let me know in the comments how much would you rank the Shorekeeper out of 10. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Thanks for watching.